Hi everyone, today we are doing a clearing to really open your being up to receive any higher information, wisdom, light, understanding from higher consciousness, from the beings who are working with you, from your starseed family not currently incarnated on the planet, and also in particularly from the Galactic Center. So part of being on this planet is a participation in some of the blocking energies or heavy energies about being here. And what we want to do is release those for you so that you're really able to open up and receive healing, to be clear and connected to your life purpose, to be able to feel the worthiness and the magnificence of who you are. Part of being incarnated on this physical planet can be overwhelming when it comes to energies of feeling stuck, blocked, limited, disconnected, feeling overwhelmed by the really huge conflict programming that's happening. You know, we have a big working it out process that's happening on this planet, but so many of you are really here because you wanted to come through and hold a certain vibration, and we want you to be able to receive information and wisdom and light and healing that really helps you to fulfill all of those soul contracts and the joy of being here to help uplift yourself and others and the planet. So let's connect in and see what's happening, what needs to be shifted. So I'm just going to have you relax your body for a moment, close your eyes, take a breath. I'm going to do the same. So I would like to call upon and invoke or bring forth the very highest vibration of source energy, which is love, to step into this clearing. I'd like to ask that all of the beings who are working with us come forward with ease, that all of the beings who have been waiting for each one of us, either as individuals or within groups, to raise our vibration enough to be able to hear them, I'd like to ask that they come through now with ease. I'd like to ask that anyone listening to this clearing is surrounded with a bubble of love and light, and that I remain neutral and clear on behalf of anyone listening, and so it is. So let's go ahead and connect my high self committee to your high self committee. I want to know if I'm working with myself, listeners, high self, or both. No one. So there are blocks here to receiving. This is the belief: I am not allowed to receive higher wisdom, light, and understanding. I have to stay at a lower or more dense vibration in order to avoid being separated from the people in my life. If my vibration is too high, people are going to think that there's something wrong with me, I'm odd, I'm weird, and so this is a separation program that's rooted in programming of fear. And so what I want to know is if we can go ahead and release it. So let's go ahead and release this. Lift this off your being. Let's clear all programming of low self-esteem in order to stay cloaked or hidden or under the radar. Now, this could be a carryover from other lifetimes where, in order to stay safe, you decided to play it really small, to be in a vibration of feeling insignificant, just a cog in the wheel. And what we want to do is let that go, because that's not a part of your manifestation now. So let's release energies of stubbornness, exhaustion, and loneliness. So now, am I working with myself, listeners, high self, or both? Now both. So are there any other blocks to receiving or benefiting from this session? No. What about the modality? What about from me? No. How long for my prep, myself, listeners, prep their high self? Let's go ahead and apply the prep to work list. We want to open your being up to receive healing, get any little items, energies out of the way. To what degree is that complete? Good. Now, is there a block for anyone listening, to be able to receive higher consciousness. Yes, wisdom, light, and understanding. Yes. So there's a piece here where there's a perception that you'll be confused, that you won't understand, that you'll mix things up. And this comes from past experiences where you were open and you were listening and you were receiving information, but it was a lower vibration. So just because a being is out of physical body and they're speaking to you and you can hear them in your mind's eye or as a thought form, does not necessarily mean that that's the highest consciousness or the highest level of information. It could be someone's Aunt Martha who's coming through, and in that moment you're able to hear that person and they're wanting to bring through some information for you or on behalf of others. And that's beautiful, but it might not necessarily be the highest information. So let's pull up any lifetimes or points of consciousness where you were receiving information that was not the highest level of awareness. So there's an energy here of shock and hardship and stubbornness, an energy of ego. This is from experiences where you felt really right and justified in defending the information you were receiving, even though to other people it may have felt completely off. There's something off about it. And so there's an energy here of low self-esteem, paranoia, and abuse of self. So let's go ahead now and just release this. All of the lifetimes, the programs, the energies, and any of the judgment. So what I'm hearing to tell you is that the quality of the information coming through is really going to be based on its resonance with love, with acceptance, with guidance in a positive, uplifting, and loving way. So if you're working with a group of beings or with a guide and you hear, don't go down that alley, you're going to be raped or you're going to be mugged, it's not the highest source, because the guides and the beings who are working with you would never instill that vibration of fear. What would come through instead would be something like, go down this street, or a feeling or an inclination to move down another opposite pathway where you would be safe. It would be based in information or wisdom that is not judgmental, that wouldn't be negative or dragging down of other beings or other people. It would just be guiding you toward light and love, acceptance, the highest pathway based on what is true for your heart. And the beings working with you who are at the highest frequency, or the information through the highest frequency, will never be either do this or forget it, we're abandoning you, we're not going to work with you any longer. So we want to open you up to be able to have discernment. So where's there a block to discernment? So this is just through the ego. So let's release any ego programs. There can sometimes in the channeling world be ego, an inflated sense of self-importance that one has the ability to channel. And basically, we're all channels. We are all vibration. We are all interpreting the vibration, and we are all able to receive wisdom. We are all able to receive information. It's just about whether or not you're open, whether or not that part of your being has the volume up. And so where else is there a block or a resistance to being open to receive information, wisdom, light, or understanding? No. So to what degree is everyone open now? Over 100%. Now, let's flip to the subject of the galactic center. So center of this galaxy and the energy that comes through, the light codes, the wisdom, the higher consciousness expanding energy that's coming through to help wake us up. at the right moment, at the right time for each individual and for the planet, when it is needed, when it is necessary, and always right on time. So where are we going to release anyone's resistance to receiving and integrating that energy? There's an experience of a trauma that you're holding from a past life within a group. And it's a program of insanity. It's a belief that energy or consciousness or wisdom that is too high in frequency will somehow harm you. And so what we want to do is release the fear around this, the programs of insanity, the programs of anxiety, and the programs of disappointment. And what I'm hearing is that the beings who are working with you are helping to mitigate and integrate any kind of energetic shift or learning for you, so that you are able to receive and integrate with ease, so that you are able to fulfill your path. So what else do we need to know about that? So to what degree is anyone listening open to receiving this higher dimensional wisdom, light, information, energy, over 100% from the Galactic Center? Now, is there a block to being able to utilize this on this particular planet? Yes. And where is it? Planetary programming and group consciousness agreements to stay stuck in fear, anxiety, and helplessness. So where are we going to release it? It's a group energy. It's a program of rejection of self, an energy of enslavement and injustice. Can we clear it? Let's release it now. All the levels, all the layers, all of the reasons for holding on to this. For some of you, the motivation to hold on to that is, I don't want to abandon other people, other beings, other souls, friends, family, soul family, loved ones who are stuck in suffering. I don't want to raise my vibration and leave them behind. And so what I'm hearing to tell you is, you can raise your vibration and stay connected to everyone. It doesn't mean that you have to go off and to live in a cave and no longer be connected. And it doesn't mean that life will no longer feel fun and interesting and exciting to you. So where else are we going to release anything else around that? The program of helplessness. I am just an insignificant person on the planet. Nothing that really comes into my sphere of being is going to really have an impact. It's not true. So let's pull up any planetary programming that would create the illusion that you are insignificant, that you have no power here, that you have no ability to affect change on a larger scale. And so where is that located? So it's a fear program and an identification of helplessness and apathy. Comes from a past life, connected to a group. The programming is panic, self-sabotage, energies of hardship, and energies of self-destruction. So is this enough to clear all of that? The programs, the energies, the past experience, we're going to release that. And what we want to do is open your ability to receive a new reality, a new experience. Having the experience of feeling uplifted, connected, whole, wise, being able to access higher wisdom, and then being able to share that, being able to uplift others just by holding that new vibration. We're not saying that you have to get on a soapbox or start a YouTube channel, although you're welcome to do that. We're just talking about changing your vibration so that you have a shift and that you're able to have an effect on others. So let's clear any energies of bitterness and let's give everybody a boost. What they're saying here is this is like the domino effect. What else do we need to look at? So can we unlock any information, wisdom, light, or understanding that's being held in an energetic queue waiting to be downloaded. So let's open that up for you. And what we want to do is ask all of the beings who are working with you, all the beings who are working with me, because I'm receiving as I'm doing this clearing for you. I want to ask that this integration and download process happens gently. Doesn't have to be some massive Kundalini experience that just blows your energy system up. We want gentle experiences that you are able to integrate and actually utilize. We don't need 5 years of recovering from anything. So let's clear experience as the process. Any other blocks to that gentle, loving, connected opening for the information to come through in the highest and best way, to have the ahas, to be able to receive that higher dimensional light. So where else is anyone holding a block to the shifting or transformation of consciousness? It's a program of suicide, and it's a program of addictions to overwhelm. Is this enough to clear it? Let's release all of this now. Now, for some of you through your ancestral lineage, we're talking about now your DNA programming. There is suicide programmed there. This is the imprint of past experiences where individuals in your genetic lineage may have committed suicide, or experiences that felt like a social suicide or a financial suicide. So we're talking about deep self-sabotage, self-limitation, and self-destruction. And what I want to know is if we can clear, release, or if we can just diminish this vibration so that it doesn't interfere any longer. Yes. So we want you to be able to integrate all of the wisdom and the learning from the DNA that you inherited without allowing it to stop or block or limit you in any way. To what degree is that done? Now, can we open up everyone's energy field to be able to receive any other light codes, any other downloads or information that they need at this time? And any blocks to expanding out with their energy, vitality, auric field, the wisdom, the higher wisdom from other lifetimes that are able to come through the wisdom of everyone's own soul, no blocks. So is everybody happy with that? Now, is there anything that I've missed? No, and I'm just gonna pull this other chart up for a moment. What here needs to be released? Living soul contracts. So living soul contracts rooted in what types of energies? Fear. So if anything is going to stop us from really stepping into the power of who we are, it will be fear. And so let's just take any place where you are plugged into group consciousness, planetary consciousness, projected fear, and let's release that for you with ease. I'm going to ask for that to be released and all of those cords to be cut now. And I want to ask that any of the lower vibrating entities or attachments who are connected into those cords of fear, that they're cleared and removed now. Let's clear all discarnates in the aura, all discarnates in possession, all dark forces, and all energies from below the incarnational pathways. Any other access or any other way that these lower vibrating energies have access to anyone listening? No. Where else is there a connection with fear? Is there anything more to do? No, that's like the cherry on top. It's like our final assurance that you're open to receive. So what are we bringing in now that we've done all of that? Gentleness, absolutely. Enthusiasm, love. And what I'm hearing to tell you about that is that many of you have participated in very deep and intense life-transforming spiritual initiation experiences. And you don't have to do it that way in this lifetime. These energies are being buffered a bit so that you're able to integrate them and still live your day-to-day life. Now, for some of you, some of this information or wisdom that comes in, it may change the path that you choose to take, or it may change your career or who you choose to spend time with, but that is all appropriate and will feel natural and normal to you. So is there anything else that we need to download? No. Is there anything more to do? So let's go ahead and apply the mop-up list. I want to thank myself, listeners, high self, all of the beings working with us, bringing forth light and eradicating any darkness, limitation, and fear. And so it is. And that feels a lot better. Thank you so much for listening to this clearing today. Let me know how this feels to you. Let me know how it integrates. I did a kind of a version of this clearing for a client earlier today, and she really moved into a deep, deep state of relaxation and receiving. And so I hope that you have the same experience. So bye for now. Take care of yourself, and I'll be back next week with another free clearing. See ya.